woman been here for me since the late 70s. My mama, the matriarch of my family tree. I don't know how you did it with all the struggles you was facing. I know you had God's help, but you are.
What up, everybody? This is the Vanilla Gorilla here with the Gorilla Gang 3421 podcast, along with my man.
One man gang.
We have no pre-planned topics today, so we'll probably talk about the NBA championship.
Well, we'll talk about that, and also I went to see a movie over the weekend. We can get into that a little bit.
I went to see a movie yesterday.
Did you?
Coco.
Oh, okay. They were showing it at the theater, too.
Yeah. We went and saw Empire Strikes Back a couple weeks ago.
Did you? Okay.
Just to be able to, so yeah.
Had to get out and do something.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of nice. Me and my wife went to see The Honest Thief, which is a Liam Neeson movie.
Oh, okay. Where he said something about I've stolen from...
Yeah, and listen, it wasn't a bad movie. Here's the problem with him. Everything is the same. If you've seen one of his movies, you've seen them all.
No. I'll disagree with the Star Wars.
Later.
I mean, Star Wars is not that long ago.
You're talking about, okay. Yeah,
but his normal movies, though, like Taken 1, 2, 3.
Taken the Gray, he's in some kind of distress and he's going to kick ass. That's pretty much his movies. And no difference here except he has a girlfriend in this one. That might be the only difference. Wasn't a bad movie. I'll probably give it a C+, B-. If you're curious, go see it. I wouldn't tell you to rush and go see it in the theaters. I never saw Rob Roy, Jose, but it's probably a good movie. I think I've heard good things about it, but I've never seen it. However, I'll tell you a movie that I really liked that he was in, Next of Kin with Patrick Swayze. I don't know if you ever seen it.
I haven't seen that one.
That's a pretty interesting movie. They're country boys, and I guess Patrick Swayze's a little more, used to the city. But I think somebody
City Splitch.
I think somebody in their family gets killed, and Liam Neeson comes to town, and he's like this rugged mountain country dude or whatever. And Patrick Swayze started warning people, "Don't make me call my kin." He didn't say family; he always said kin, which was hilarious to me. So, pretty decent movie.
This is funny because Patrick Swayze is probably the more rustic out of the two of them. And Liam Neeson is more of a city, Ireland, living in the city of Ireland. Patrick Swayze owned a ranch. Out in, I can't remember, one of the Dakotas maybe? Yeah, but he had a ranch, bunch of horses and all that stuff. So it's funny that their roles were like completely reversed in that movie.
His brother was on one of these dating show. I think it's the lady that she's like a dating advisor to the stars, and she finds somebody for him, and they go out on these dates or whatever, and she's real serious about monogamy and all this other stuff. So that was interesting to see him on there, and I think he actually did find love. I don't know if they got married or if they're still dating or whatever, but that was kind of interesting to see his brother on there.
Yeah.
He was a dancer before acting. I did not know that.
I think his mom was the teacher, no less.
Really?
I believe so. Like his mom.
Is that why he put baby in the corner?
No, he got baby out the corner.
Oh, nobody puts baby in the corner.
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
Yeah. I still don't like Dirty Dancing. I'm sorry, folks.
I do. I like it. I
did not have.
I like it just for the soundtrack alone.
I did not have the time of my life, and if I never gotta watch it again, I'm okay.
No, I liked it. Especially the soundtrack, man. I like that era of music. Call me weird. I like oldies.
I like a lot of 80s music, man.
Yeah, but it wasn't 80s music. The music was like 50s music. Remember it was set back in the like 50s?
No, I don't remember that because I'm not a big fan of the movie. So,
I mean...
Their clothes did not look too 50-ish.
Yeah, they did.
Really?
Yeah, man, he had the open shirt with the sleeves rolled up, and she had a big puffy dress on.
I didn't think they...
Yeah, they dressed like they were like Leave It to Beaver.
Did he have cigarettes in his...
Nah, he did in Outsiders, but not that.
Yeah, The Outsiders. Outsiders was a great movie.
Great movie.
Great movie. A lot of famous people in Outsiders, if you've never seen it.
Everyone's
Matt
in that
Dillon,
movie is famous.
Ralph Macchio, Patrick Swayze.
Rob Lowe. Matt Dillon.
Yeah, Matt Dillon, I already said.
Emilio Estevez.
Oh, yeah.
Remember he was the Mickey Mouse?
Yeah.
Cherry Valens. She was
that a Coppola
Diane something or other.
Was that a
Lane? Diane Lane was Cherry Valens.
Was
and
that
then,
a Coppola movie? Do you know?
Maybe.
No? Okay.
It might be. And then it had the one Soch. He was a former child musician. I can't remember. Leif Garrett.
You got me on that.
Yeah, Leif Garrett was a musician. He got himself in trouble. I think he got in a drunk driving accident and killed somebody or something like that.
Speaking of actors who got themselves in trouble, you remember A Bronx Tale?
I've only seen pieces. It's a personal thing.
Oh, really? Okay.
Her mom likes.
Okay, I understand. Get over it. That is a great.
No,
great,
I
great movie.
like the Chaz Palminteri parts with, and then.
Well, do you remember the kid?
Yeah.
Kaloja,
Breaking
right?
hair. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you know the story about.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was on Sopranos.
Yeah.
They made it a bigger story that he was a Sopranos actor that got himself in real trouble than they did Bronx Tale. But yeah, he was Matt Bevilacqua on The Sopranos.
He's played other stuff too. His real name is Lilo. I forget how to pronounce his last name. If you don't know the story, Lilo was an actor on the come up. He got hooked up on drugs in real life, and
He's a Renaissance Man. You ever see
Renaissance Man? Yep. And he had a buddy who would let him in his house and grab some pills of his. Well, this one night he wanted to get high. It's been some years. He goes into the house. He breaks a window to get in there, and the guy doesn't live there anymore. He doesn't know that, and
He's like right next door to his house too.
the neighbor was a cop.
Yeah.
And the cop came in and said, "Don't move." And he idiotically put his hands up and turned around. The cop busted him, I think, 2 or 3 times. And he ran out the house. He was with a friend. I believe the friend's name was Steve. Steve shot the cop dead.
Mm-hmm.
He ran down the street. Cop saw him, was like, "Who shot you?" Was it him? And it was his friend coming out. He was like, "No, it's the other guy on the ground." And they found out he was a cop. He was facing, big trouble. I don't know what happened to Steve.
He got a lot of years. I want to say he's out.
Okay.
But I know he got sentenced to quite a lot. And that's that whole, when you're with somebody in the commission of a felony, you catch it too. You get the murder charge just like the person that pulls the trigger. So it really doesn't matter. That's why it's funny when I see those dudes snitching on First 48.
Yeah.
Like, just tell on you, boy. But you're going to get the same exact sentence. Same exact sentence.
Just for the record, and not that I'm a criminal or anything, if you ever get arrested and the cops take you in for questioning, tell them you want a lawyer. Don't say anything else, because all they're trying to do is get you to trip yourself up. And the more you talk, especially if you're telling a lie, you got to cover a lie with a lie on top of a lie.
Or better yet, just don't do anything to get arrested.
Keep track. Well, yeah. But if you do,
say you want a lawyer immediately, even if it's the public, even if it's yourself, shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I would say 90% of the time, they already know what happened. They just want to get you to say it. I've done investigations working in the jail. Sometimes, if it's just like circumstantial evidence, they need a confession because they don't have enough. They don't have a witness. They don't have the gun, for example, or the murder weapon. So yeah, they want to lock you in, but it's always better just to, even if it's the public pretender, man, take him.
So since we brought up A Bronx Tale, what is your favorite? Even though Bronx Tale wasn't a gangster movie, there was a gangster that played in it, which was Chaz Palminteri. By the way, real quick on a side note, if you don't know,
the father was a bus driver. Robert De Niro, he was a bus driver.
Yes, right? But Chaz wrote that movie, and that was based on his real father, and the kid was him. Okay, and he did see this guy murder a guy right in front of him. So,
and the black girl was Gabrielle Union.
No, but no, not in the movie. No, I don't know who she was, but it wasn't Gabrielle Union. But Chaz actually dated a black girl when he was young and all that. Now the amazing thing, hey Aaron, what's going on, brother? The amazing thing about A Bronx Tale is that 30 years later now, it's a musical. It was first a one-man play. That's how Chaz started it, and Robert De Niro came to a show and was like, look, this is amazing. It needs to be a movie. And Chaz had been offered $1 million, but they wouldn't let him play in it. And he said no. He said, I'm not going to do it if I can't star. That was me. Yeah.
I
It's
thought
like
it was one of her toys or something.
it's like, if I can't star in it, I'm not going to do it. So he turned down $1 million. Robert De Niro came to one of his one-man shows and said, hey, this needs to be a movie. He was like, and you should play the guy. How about this? I'll direct it, and I'll play the father. And you.
Oh. No. Martin Scorsese. That's a Scorsese film.
No, it isn't.
It's not? Sure.
Bronx Tale's not a Scorsese.
Huh.
You can look it up. You can.
No, I believe. I mean, obviously, I'm not that versed. I
Yeah.
could have sworn it was, but
Yeah, I mean, I see how you could think that, especially.
I've been wrong once in a while.
With De Niro being in it, so. But yeah, he was like, "I'll play the father. I'll direct it." That was Robert De Niro's directorial
debut. Okay.
All right, and Chaz was like, "I'll play Sonny." He was like, "Yeah, that's perfect." And basically, that's how they did it. So, so what I was going to ask you before I got off on that side note, what is your favorite gangster movie? And you don't have to keep it like Italian Mob or anything like that. Any gangster type of movie. What is your favorite?
Favorite gangster movie? I'm gonna go weird. I'm gonna go James Cagney, Public Enemy.
I've never seen it.
It's
Okay.
an old movie, man.
James Cagney, yeah. Mine's is easily Casino, which is a Scorsese film.
Yeah.
I liked it because it was a little different. With Lucky Lefty. Lucky Lefty wasn't really a gangster. He was more of a hang-around. He made money for the mob. And I like the fact that Robert De Niro didn't play this tough Italian guy in this movie. He was more of a softy that made money. I mean, he wasn't
Jewish in the
completely
movie,
soft.
right?
Lucky Lefty was Jewish, yes. So he was playing a Jewish guy. And just in case you didn't know, Casino is actually a real story.
Right.
That's embellished.
They just changed the name.
Frank Collada, was the guy who advised the movie. Frank Collada's character in the movie was named Frank Vincent. That was the gray-haired guy that was Joe Pesci's best friend in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's based off a real person. Frank Collada did turn informant. He did advise the movie or what have you. And I believe there was another mob tie-in that...
It was the whole Vegas connection. Like,
yeah, but the thing was, they made it seem like they were from Kansas City. This was the outfit that was from Chicago, Illinois. That was the only mob in Chicago, whereas in New York, they had different families. Right. So there was only the outfit in Chicago. I mean, I'm sure there were other gangs, but when they got to Vegas, they were called the Hole in the Wall Gang.
yeah.
The guy that Joe Pesci played, I forget his real name.
I knew too.
He was off because he was doing stuff in Vegas he wasn't supposed to do. If you've seen the movie, he was robbing places, just causing a lot of attention.
Robbing places, he was skimming some off of the tape that was supposed to go back.
They killed him and his brother, and in the movie they made it seem like they killed him in a field. That's not true. They killed him in a basement and took him to a field and buried him.
Yeah.
So
I can't remember that dude's name.
Michael Francis.
Nah, the character they played. I know.
His name was either Tommy. I think it was
Tommy Spilatro.
Thomas Spilatro. Yeah.
Yep.
Michael Francis spoke on Tommy Spilatro and a couple other guys that he thought was crazy. He said they all have one thing in common: they're all dead. He said guys like that don't last long, who are just violent and whatnot. Somebody's gonna want to get rid of you. And that's
one that did.
What happened.
Who's one that did?
That survived. That was crazy.
Ultra violent, crazy, and violent.
Was he a mob guy or was he
Mob
a
guy.
hitman?
Mob guy. Definitely mob guy.
I have no idea.
Sammy the Bull.
Sammy the Bull, yeah, Sammy the Bull. Michael Francis said Sammy's the real deal. I heard a story about Sammy the Bull that was interesting. He said he was in jail, and Sammy said he made it clear. He was like, I was never a racist. He was like, John Gotti definitely was. I didn't get down with that. Yeah, Sammy didn't really like Johnny. I think they liked each other because they had to work together, but he didn't like him like that.
So Sammy got placed into John's outfit when John was a captain. So that Neil Dellacroce dude kind of brought Sammy in.
Right.
But he wasn't part of John's core crew and all that stuff. So
Gotcha.
when Sammy did the hit on Paul Gravano. So that's what bumped him up.
No, Castellano, right?
Paul Castellano. Yeah. So he did the hit, which is what
And he wasn't supposed to.
elevated him up to underboss.
But that was because so many people hated Castellano because they said he was like stingy,
he was
greedy.
stingy and more of a businessman than a mafia.
And, usually, supposedly how the story goes is if you make a hit on a made guy without permission, you're done. And that didn't happen to John because I guess Paul was at
No, so what happened, you know, heard it? So what happened was the the bosses, they all met. And because John was more of a mob guy and, you know, Paul didn't really do anything to be boss other than Carlo Gambino's brother-in-law. He was Carlo Gambino. He married Carlo Gambino's sister.
Okay.
So he didn't really have any skill set or what's the word? Qualifications to be the boss of the family. John did. John was capo, ran his crew, came up in little gangs, all that stuff. So the 5 families met. 3 of them agreed to give him a pass. Vincent the Chin Gigante was the only one that didn't.
Okay, yeah.
And ended up coming after him, like put a bomb under his consigliere's car. They thought John was going to be in it, but it was his consigliere. I can't remember the name. It was Frankie DeChico or something weird like that. Put a bomb underneath his car, blew him up, and eventually they had to go meeting of the heads of the 5 families, that type of thing, and Vincent had to like cut the shit. So yeah. Have you watched that show on Stars? I think it is.
No.
About Bumpy Johnson.
I haven't seen anything on Stars.
With Forrest Whitaker and all that.
Oh, the what was it called?
I can't remember.
Harlem Godfather or something?
Yeah,
like that?
Godfather Harlem. Yeah, so Vincent the Chin is like kind of like the
prominent character.
One of the prominent mob bosses that's coming after Bumpy.
Gotcha.
So yeah, when Vincent got old, to avoid prosecution, the dude would walk down the street in bathrobe and slippers. And
I've heard that
FBI
story,
agent came into the house, and he was in the shower taking a shower with the umbrella. Like he tried to pass himself off as crazy. Didn't ultimately work. Not going to, but he did do a lot of weird, crazy shit just to avoid prosecution.
Yeah, I did hear that before.
Yeah, that was Vincent the Chin. He used to be a boxer. That's why his name was the Chin.
The Chin. Okay.
Was one of the men that killed Albert Anastasia. That went into the barbershop and shot Albert Anastasia. The legend is he's the one that put one in his eye with the card. But yeah, Public Enemy.
Yeah, I'm actually reading. He's not a mob guy. He's a hang around. Gianni Russo. You know who he is, right?
We talked about it before. Yeah,
Okay.
it was Carlo on The Godfather.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting book, man. But you know, his story is so intriguing. It makes me wonder how much of it might be embellished.
I think a lot of it, because I've personally heard the dude on. I used to listen to Howard Stern all the time. I've heard him on Howard Stern saying one thing, then you go look at that Vlad interview, and he's contradicting himself.
Yeah,
so,
and same thing with the book a little bit. You know, there's some people that tells the story exactly the same. It's funny. I was just watching a documentary with it's about Dolly Parton. She has a song called Jolene. Have you ever heard it?
No.
Okay, so she's basically talking about this lady that tried to take her husband. She tells the same story in the beginning of the song when she performed it live. Same as that. I fought that girl like a wildcat. She took my wig off and you know beat me to almost to death with it and this, that, and the third. Same story every time. Gianni Russo, it might be the same story, but little details kind of change. You know what I mean, over time. So yeah, I mean,
you know who else does that?
Who's that?
And again, because I watched him on Howard Stern. Henry Hill used to do that. And
Oh,
Henry
Hill.
Hill's dead now, but
Yeah. Well, Michael Francis also was saying that a lot of stuff, you know, one thing he was real big on, he was like, Henry Hill never walked through the Copacabana at the back of it by himself. If he was with a boss or something like that, okay, I could see that, but he never did it by himself. Apparently the Copa was a huge thing. You know, they said Henry Hill had a bad drug problem.
oh, he was always drunk on Howard. Too.
Yeah. Bad
Like you
drug
could
problem.
barely. another person that's always on Howard Stern drunk, Iron Sheik. Iron Sheik would be toasted on Howard Stern.
Iron Sheik.
It was hilarious. How him and Henry Hill were the two hardest people to understand when they were toasted. That and Beetlejuice. So if you guys know who Beetlejuice, little Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice tore up.
Listen, I saw a video and I don't. It's hard not to laugh, but I don't like to make fun of the guy because obviously there's an issue there. But he was being interviewed and the guy said, what color is orange? He was like, oranges? I don't know about oranges, right? So then he said, if you buried a hole that's 6 feet deep, how deep is the hole? He was like, about 20 feet. I said, but see,
that's my boy Beetle. Boy.
Yes, but this is what pisses me off. These people bring him on there, interview him. I don't know if they're paying him or not. Okay.
I would venture to say Beat makes more money than I do.
Okay, fair enough. But they're making fun of this kid, and he has no idea that he's being made fun of. And
nor would he if you told him, though. So that's the thing.
That's true. That's true.
And you heard that Cat Williams thing when he was upset about the Flavor Flav roast, and he was saying it was crispity crackety coon this and crispity crackety coon this. And when Flav came out in the beginning, Cat's opening line was supposed to be, "Look, it's a flying monkey." So he was pissed off. He was like, "Man, I'm tearing all this shit up." He said, "And certain niggas, you don't expect to learn nothing from, but I'll be goddamn." Flav came in after the roast, was congratulating everybody, giving everybody dap, high five, and he was like, "You don't care what they say about you? Like all that shit?" Like his kids had to get up and leave in the middle because they was roasting the kids too. It was crazy. And Flav said, "I don't care what they say about me because they still got to pay me, boy." And he said, "You know what? You are absolutely right. Hey, you gonna pay me just to call me some names? Cool.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, not paying him, that'd be a different story."
Yeah. Speaking of Flav, did you ever heard of Eric Andre? Okay. So I gotta show you after the fact. But Eric Andre is absolutely freaking insane in my opinion. Okay? So Eric Andre has a show where he brings guests on and he interviews.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I know.
He interviews them and basically tortures them. Yes, he does do hot ones. Yeah.
He did it twice, matter of fact.
So he had Flav on there. And Flav, why don't you just put something? Yeah. So Flav's being interviewed, and they make it look like Hannibal Buress kicks him in the face. Flav was hot about that. Flav was extremely mad about that.
Please be quiet.
Bring the sauce up.
Hold on, we get to the sauce.
Okay.
We got a treat for y'all.
Yeah, Flav was like, I don't like the fact that they made it look like he kicked me in my face, and I just sat there and did nothing. And that's how they ended the segment. But Eric Andre on Hot One said that he has to ask guests to come back and stuff because he tortures them so bad. He said T.I. walked out on him about 3 or 4 times. He said, "Man, we're almost at the end. We're almost at the end." I just kept coaxing him back or whatever.
But he does like crazy. Like I've seen this dude like smack himself in the head with plates and.
Oh, Eric Andre? Yeah. Eric Andre does
pull
everything.
his dick out and all types of shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, what the hell?
The funniest thing I ever saw he did, he was with a camera on the street, right, taking pictures. And I think the guy said, "Excuse me," to him. He turned around. He had one eye. And he said, "Pay the toll." I lost it, bro. I was like, yo, this is...
Pay the toll.
Pay the toll. I thought that was the funniest thing ever. And the guy, walked around him kind of looking concerned.
We just switching lines. No, you can go.
Oh, okay.
I'm just switching to the other one.
Hey, you gotta keep switching?
No, but I ain't got nothing better to do since I'm in Facebook jail, so I figured.
Facebook, stop putting people in jail for bullshit.
Shit. Can't a brother talk shit about Donald Dick Stain Trump?
Stop putting people in jail.
Ridiculous.
For people having an opinion, you know, of most things, you know, you give somebody a Facebook page and tell them to type whatever they want to, and then you ban them when they type it. Come on, man. Stop playing. I might get banned for that myself, but stop playing. You need to hear that. Zuckerberg, whatever.
Zuckerberg. Yeah, so you want to talk about the NBA? Or what's going on in football first?
The Giants got their first win of the season, which I wasn't happy about. We were 0-4 on our way to the number 1 draft pick because we need a quarterback. The best quarterback is going to be the number 1 draft pick, the boy out of Clemson. We can still win it. But, you know, win the draft pick.
Right. Win the draft pick, but slow
yeah.
down on them winning.
But here's the funny thing. With that one win, we are second in our division.
Yeah, I heard like the Cowboys suck, the Eagles suck.
But the Cowboys are the best team out of that whole division.
The
right?
Redskins, I don't care what.
Well, that's who we beat yesterday.
I don't care what you want to call them. They're the Redskins, shit.
Yeah, we beat the Washington football team yesterday, and that's because they have no name. That's the only reason we beat them. If they had a name, they would have a little more flair. But
yeah, that's so. I can't believe that. Are they doing it? Are they not naming the team out of protest, or are they just not?
I think
like there's no way you're not creative enough to come up with a name.
From my understanding, they named it the football team until they come up with a better name.
Okay.
From what I understand. So, you know, if it's going to be Washington football team the whole time, then yes, they probably did it to be smart Alex. I can't see any other reason why you would do something like that. So the Giants
Washington
got
Monuments or something.
Washington Monuments, Washington Capitals. No, that's
Capitals is the hockey team, yeah.
You can call them the Senators, which was the old baseball team, excuse me.
Mm-hmm. I don't think anybody's too happy with the Senate right now, so that might not work out.
Washington stimulus checks.
Tomorrow's the deadline.
They named it that, everybody.
She set a deadline for 48 hours, so tomorrow's up. Don't do it tomorrow. It won't be done until after the election.
Great.
So, who knows? But even the Republican senators, not to get on this topic, but even the Republican senators, first of all, they think the Democratic bill is too high. Dumbass Donald said he wants it even higher. And the senators are like, nah, we ain't gonna do that. So
Thank you.
it's just gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
Regardless. So do not expect a stimulus check. If your ass ain't working because you think you're getting the checks in, go to work.
That's your daily wisdom for the day.
Go to work.
Go your ass to work.
Take your ass to work. Shit, better work some overtime. Christmas coming.
Oh, on another note, my 16-year-old son, who will be 17 in March, saved up his money and bought his own first car, 2005 Buick LaCrosse, silver. I actually test drove it for him, checked it out, and I said, you know, it's good to go except for the back tires. You want to need back tires on it, you know. And I said, you know, you don't have to rush because where you work in your house, your mom's house is not far. I
Is
said,
it
but
front
you
wheel or
can't-
rear wheel drive?
I believe it's front wheel drive.
Oh, it's good. Even if it does snow, which it hasn't snowed in years.
But I told him I don't want him driving up to see me until he gets those tires replaced and we get a little more time on the road. I think he's good to drive from work and home, which, you know, was really the reason, you know, for the car, at least a little bit of a rush for the car, because it was a strain on his mom, you know, which it wouldn't be if she lived in the vicinity of me.
Right.
You know? But, you know, that's what it is. He got his own car. I bought him a bunch of stuff for the car, a jack, hydraulic jack, tire iron. I bought him a car charger and a Bluetooth because he doesn't have like Bluetooth through the radio.
Right.
So it's a little Bluetooth he can put in his ear, listen to his music, and talk and be safe. You know. So, and I bought him a pump, you know, for his tires, a portable pump.
Portable pump. Yeah.